Hi, my name is Bob Benny. I'm a cattle rancher, cow-calf producer in central Arizona. A while back I had a problem. The problem was I've got a main road going through my outfit that is traveled by a lot of ATVers and a lot of sportsmen and four-wheel drive trucks. My fence line runs, boundary fence for 2 pastures runs right through that particular area, and I tried a wire fence. That only lasted a year before they tore that up. So I went to a collapsible cattle guard. Collapsible cattle guard worked a while, but the use of it, the amount of use on it, it finally began to have some mechanical problems and just wasn't working. When I had a guy come into my ranch tell me he got his truck hung up on the collapsible cattle guard, I knew I had to make a change. So I talked to Therese about her on-the-ground cattle guard, and I've had it now about 8 or 9 months. I've had during the winter and the summer and the spring, and it's been terrific. We put it on the ground. It's at a place where it's got a hard granite surface. I was worried about it being able to move, so we brought in a little granite, set it down, has not moved. I've had my cows tested. I could see where they've walked to both sides of it, looked at it, but neither have crossed when I needed in the different to move from one pasture to another. I just opened the gate next to it. They have not come back and tried to cross it. Overall, I've been real happy with it, and it's sure doing its job right. I'd highly recommend it.
Bob, tell us about how stable you thought it was going to be, just setting something on the ground, and I think you mentioned you might be worried it might move a little bit.
Yeah, I was concerned about it moving, especially with all the traffic we had over it, and we didn't have, and it's on a hard granite surface. We weren't able to use a traditional cattle guard because I couldn't dig a well without blasting. So I was concerned sitting on that type of granite that I'd get a lot of movement. I've got 2 steel posts on either end, which is my boundary fence ties to it, but that, by putting just a little granite on after a little period of time, it seemed to sit down real nice and flat. Haven't had a trouble with moving it at all. I've had heavy equipment go out there. I've had trucks and trailers go over it. My 20-foot horse trailer and my gooseneck go over it. ATVs have gone over it. Just tons of traffic, and I haven't detected any movement at all from it.
Well, thank you, Bob. We appreciate that. I understand in the Globe Ranger district there's been some theft lately of the other type, the old type of cattle guards, people that are broke and they're cutting out rungs and stealing cattle guards.
Yeah, apparently metal theft is a problem, and these guys are getting smarter with the cost per ton for heavy metal, which most cattle guards are used railroad. People are actually stealing the metal grates off the top of the cattle guard. You can imagine traveling at night over where you think there's a cattle guard and finding out there's not one there. It's going to drop right into it, so the liability is really high. This particular cattle guard alleviates that problem. If they're going to steal it, they're going to steal it, whether it's grates or on the ground, but at least if they steal an above ground, flat on the ground cattle guard, you don't have a well that somebody's going to fall into. So it's just another consideration.
All right, thank you very much. Anything else? Any other concerns or issues? Or
No, been real happy with it, and I urge you to give it a try.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Appreciate